A business, if we stay stale, we're dead, right? You have to keep it moving forward. And I think there's always improvements. There's always things to learn. It's the groups there. It's amazing to have the camaraderie with other people, the focus, the attention. As business owners, we have to keep it moving forward. So it doesn't matter whether you're just starting or you're in. You get the feedback from together as a group.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. So happy to have you all here with me today. And, we thought we would do something a little bit different today. I'm really looking forward to our time together. So today, I thought it would be really fun to bring some of my wonderful, awesome clients who have actually worked with me in some capacity, specifically inside of the Six Figure Biz Academy. And I wanted to just chat with them, kind of get to know them better and learn a little bit more from their perspective, how things shifted for them, right? So how is the Academy, how did it influence where they are now? So that is our intention today. And I'm also really delighted to have my one and only tech extraordinaire, and that is Miss Rita. And so Rita Esther is joining me as well. Actually, Rita does so much more behind the scenes than tech. She came on board with my business. Gosh, it's been, I don't know, how many years now? 3? Something like that. It's been a while, right?
3 years, I believe.
Yeah, 3 years. Time flies. And so I originally brought Rita on board to really help me with the technology, right? Like kind of behind the scenes with all the sales pages and the funnels. And now I'm so happy that she is taking on a bigger and bigger role inside of my business. So lots of really great stuff going on. But specifically, I wanted to have Rita join us today because last year in the 2021 cohort of the Six Figure Biz Academy, she went through it. Like basically she went through it pretty much as a student, right? So she got to witness a lot of not only behind the scenes, but also the delivery of the program. And I think the best part, I'll leave this up to her to talk more about, but was being able to get to know the people in the group and really get to witness that amazing transformation that occurred over that 6 months, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and jump in. So today we are going to be specifically talking about how a strategic coaching program can catapult your business to success. And that is our really what we want to talk about today. So let's go ahead and jump in. So we've got a few people here, and we have Miss Tanika, and we've got Elisa Dines, and we have Rita, and we might even have, who knows, we might even have more joining us today. So this was kind of a last minute idea that we thought would be really fun. So who would like to start just in terms of a quick introduction?
I could start. Hi, everyone. My name is Elisa Dinses, and I am a registered dietitian. So I started taking Leslie's Six Figure Biz Academy. I was in the last cohort. And I am a dietitian. My business is kind of duals, half private practice, half consulting. And before the academy, I kind of was all over the place. I had just started a couple of years before my business. And I actually thought of taking the academy a year before I did, but I realized I really wasn't ready. So I stalled it for a year. And then I reached out to Lesli and I said, I'm ready. I'm in such chaos right now. There's something needs to give. I need the help. And it's been great. The Biz Academy, our cohort finished, but we've actually stayed on as a monthly group, which has been super, super helpful. I think many of us, like at least myself included, kind of felt like when the academy was over, it was so amazing and so helpful that we wanted to continue.
Right.
So we're still in it, really.
I love it. I love it so much. So, Lisa, tell everyone a little bit about your area of specialization.
Sure. So on the counseling side, I see primarily clients that come to me for weight loss, digestive issues, GI issues, and food sensitivities, and some eating disorders. And on the consulting side, I would say it kind of runs the gamut. Community programs, food service. I help organizations kind of strategize their meal programs and figure out how to scale up, how to create efficiencies in their meal programs. I'm a consultant for like some CFP programs. I mean, it really touches areas. My background, I've worked in all areas of nutrition, clinical, community, corporate, home delivered meal programs, government regulations. So my consulting side kind of represents all of that experience, I would say. Two areas.
It's an awesome business model.
Yeah. And, I think as time goes on, I'll continue to fine tune a little bit more. Some days I'm kind of like, oh, I'm going to grow the private practice side. And then other days I'm like, there's more opportunity on the consulting side. And it kind of like, I still teeter back and forth. I haven't fully decided exactly which direction. Maybe I stay in both areas. I don't really know yet. But for now, it's working to straddle both.
Well, the nice thing is you have variety, which is something that many of us crave, right? And so you've been able to build this model that really provides that level of variety for you, which is
I will say that it started because I quit my last full-time job. I quit in July of 2018, and I worked in government for 9 years before that. That was my last full-time job. And so I was like, okay, I'm quitting my full-time job, time to go out on my own. And the first project was a consulting project. So that's kind of how it really started. And I was like, okay, I could do this. And then I got another consulting project. And then, those were kind of like project-based. They weren't all the time. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to start doing some nutrition counseling. And I got an office to do nutrition counseling. And so it really wasn't like I set out to say, okay, I'm going to have a consulting and counseling business. I kind of just took them as they came. Right. And since then, and with the help of Leslie's course, I have more than a full-time job.
Amazing.
And again, for myself, not working for somebody else, but for myself. Yeah. So I never thought that quickly that would be able to happen.
Amazing. So I'm going to circle back around to you to hear more about some of the changes that you made in order to, you're so busy, which again, kind of depending on how you look at it, right? Pros and cons to that, but you really stepped up the pace of the business, and also the revenue piece, and then the delegation, right? Which I know we're still working on that part, but so let's go to Tanika and let's get a quick overview of where you are.
Okay. So my name is Tanika Carr. I'm in Texas. And so my business was kind of everywhere, which I think all of ours kind of start off everywhere. But so what I actually got out of Six Figure Business Academy is really just, to be honest, where to start, how to, how to write out things and how to get potential clients to say yes, really, more so than, so it's kind of everything, right? Because I had just started in 2019 as a favor for a friend, and the bug had been put in my ear a couple of years before. I currently work in dialysis. And so I went to a seminar, and the dietitian was like, yeah, I do private practice. I was like, that's a thing. And I just didn't know that was a thing in kidney disease. And so I started private practice as a favor to a friend. And I was like, I kind of like this, but I didn't really know where to start. And so she was like, well, yeah, I can be your business coach, but she's a nurse. And I wanted a business coach as a dietitian who gets what we actually do, because that makes a difference. That made a difference for me, because having Lesli be a dietitian, she knows, like, okay, this is what people want. This is what people are looking for. People don't want you to say, you have to be skinny and and you can't eat any, you know what I mean? Like, and that's like nurses, they tend to still think like that. So I wanted a business coach who was a dietitian who knew like what it is that we do. So it really helped me kind of be able to focus on, you have to have a niche. You can't just be all over the place. And so that's really what it helped me do. And I loved it.
Incredible. Okay. So you were just starting.
Yes.
Back when you joined the academy, and Elisa was further along, right? in her process. And it's so interesting that it worked for both of you. How do you think that is?
I think it doesn't matter what stage you are. I think if you even are 10 years into your business, you can benefit from hiring a business coach or joining a business coach class, because there's always fine tuning. A business, if we stay stale, we're dead, right? You have to keep it moving forward. And I think there's always improvements. There's always things to learn. It's the groups there. It's amazing to have the camaraderie with other people. The focus, the attention. As business owners, we have to keep it moving forward. So it doesn't matter whether you're just starting or you're in. You get the feedback from together as a group,
right?
And I also think to agree with Elisa, I also think it's just like if you're just starting like I was, like you don't really know where to start, right? Because there's so many websites and there's ADA, DPGs, and then there's this website and there's this website. But I think to have someone who can help you really start to finish, and because if you start and you're 6 years in, then Lesli can help you fine tune like where you should go. But if you're just starting, she can help you like, this is how you get clients and this is how you get them to say yes. This is how you do your money. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people, you start a business no matter where you start, but you still need somebody to help coach you into what the next best option is.
Right. Yeah. It's so interesting, because that's one of the most common questions I get is, oh my gosh, is it right for me if I'm here? Is it right for me if I'm over here? And most of the time the answer is yes to all the above, right?
Yes.
With very, once in a while, I'll run into an exception, but for the most part, it's because the framework is, it's a really valid framework that's been tried. It's been tested many times over almost 8 years, right? So these are foundational elements that are just critical to have in place. And a lot of people that struggle even 10 years in, we go back to the foundational pieces first and kind of discover, we need to tighten this up. Like that is probably contributing to a lot of the confusion that they're experiencing. So Rita, what would you tell us a little bit about you, and maybe, give us a little bit of insight from your perspective?
Sure. So I'm a big old nerd. I love all things tech. Some people can look at an instrument and just play it. I'm that way with technology and software. I have yet to meet one that stumps me, and I love it. So I started working with Lesli, like she said, about 3 years ago, just designing sales pages, and just our relationship has gradually evolved to where I'm like, oh, I can help you with this, Lesli, or I can do that, to where now I'm actually doing tech trainings within the academy, which is a lot of fun. And also, if somebody gets stumped with something, I'm able to help them. I might make a quick Loom video or get on a Zoom call with them. And so I've really been able to connect with members in the academy on in a one-on-one basis and in a group basis. And what I've really seen, what I've really been impressed with, and last year, I've worked with Lesli for a while, but last year was the first time that I was on almost every single call. Like I was in it, right? So I really got to see it from beginning to end. And when people enrolled, they were nervous, they were scared. Almost everybody said they were overwhelmed. They were all over the place. Their time management was just whatever. They were just putting out fires all day. And then literally like 30 days, they then have a schedule that they're supposed to. And even something as simple as implementing like theme days, which we actually covered this week in our kickoff call, but covering like theme days where like this is the day that I write, this is the day that I market, really just helps the people focus. Like the students, the members, however you want to call it, all of a sudden they're focused, they have purpose, they're not confused anymore, and they just make giant strides. And then with whenever you try anything new, it always makes you nervous, and all these demons come up like, can I really do this? I'm going to fail, da da da. And having that community of support saying, no, you can do this. People are going to love it. And it gives the members like the confidence to like go for it and do it whenever, if they were left to their own devices, they would say, maybe I'll try that next year, or maybe after, summer, or after COVID, or after something. And instead they're going for it and doing it. And it's just been great to see, people just blossom as business owners.
Yeah, I love it. So yeah, the confidence is insane, right? The growth, and also the results. I mean, that's really what I think I'm most proud of, is the fact that this is a program that delivers results. And one thing I do want to add about, having Rita with me now in the mix is because, in full honesty, full transparency, sometimes it's that tech piece. And I'm sure those of you that are listening, give me a yes if you can relate to this. Right? You already know what I'm going to say, right? It's like I can teach all day, all night about like all the strategies, but sometimes it's the tech that can stop you in your tracks, right? And so that is one of the things that, one of the variables in the Six Figure Biz Academy that I really wanted to overcome. One of the barriers for, my clients and my students to be able to implement. So now with Rita, it's awesome because those challenges can be really quite readily resolved, right? So what that means is, in the Six Figure Biz Academy, you have the support you need to actually implement. And, if you have tech questions, we've got our awesome resource, Rita, who, she's never been stumped yet. So I love that. So, so that is, I think that's a really powerful element. So I'm so appreciative that Rita is really taking on a bigger and bigger role in helping my clients, being a resource for them to help move them forward.